I'm Alf Lynch, Alphonso Lynch, was born in Jamaica, came to England 1953, 9th of November, leaving my parents and coming to a big country like this with knowing nobody, and you have to get on. I came here on a Sunday. Monday morning I went to the labor exchange, sign on by myself at 21 years old, and have to find myself back home, get a room to share with somebody I met on the boat. And I lived there for a year. Have to find jobs for myself. Nobody to find you any jobs. No money. All the money gone. But I get borrows from the mates them that we live with. Because it was a house that just room. So you eventually make friends there and then. And then from then, you get on to get a job. I got my first job in England was tailoring, and I started on the first day of January 1954. Then I worked there for a year, and to me, it wasn't no good. The money was no good. Getting £5 a week, £5 a week, and by the time you paid rent and to travel, so I leave off and then go on to do different work. I worked there and then in British Plywood in the boiler room, and I worked there for 18 years. It was like from home to home, and married, having children, and you have to get on. But I find it at that particular time, it wasn't that easy, but you have to work yourself in and get to understand how the system works. Because in those days, because I don't know if it's because you're black, where you get the racism then, but you don't take that on. You have to sort of work things out for yourself. And I must be honest, I met some wonderful Englishmen because you work with them and you work as a team. And once you work as a team, then you're okay. So now I leave from that job now to another job, which is Johnson Matthey, because we were made redundant and you have to move on. And then I went and worked for Johnson Matthey 22 years. Then I was made retired. Of course, it wasn't that easy of getting here, but you get to understand and, as I said, play the game. You understand? But I'm here 70 years now, and I'm a part of the British. I'm a British man. I'm more, I'm more English than Jamaican, which is a shame, really, but it's something that you have to accept. And now I retired now 25, 26 years, and have a wonderful time in this country. Well, when I came here and like going out Saturday night, we have to know where we were going. But in going out, then it was only like certain time you were able to go to reggae party, because then it was Nat King Cole was the top of the agenda at that particular time. But we didn't go out much. We mostly go to the pub, have a drink, and then you go back home, play your domino, and then you get to meet up with your mates then. That's how you get to know one another. Domino playing. I didn't much of a domino playing. I like the music. And I love girls then, and I'll be around the girls. And from there on, we start to like go out around Hyde Park, travel around every Saturday night, because you know those days was you work five 5 days. But when I started to work 12 hours a, a week, 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, you didn't have much of a time for social life, because by then now I'm married and have children, and you start to have party at your house and having party at my house now. And then I thought, yes, you could make life. Then I bought another house. So the house that was there rented out, I used to make party there every Saturday night. But I was selfish, because you will tell your next door neighbors, but we don't tell anybody else around. And this is where, with me now, I can understand like the selfish people and that around us, because we were selfish, but we didn't think we were selfish because you were young. And as you grow older, you see things different. What would and the police, they came there one night and kicked down the door. When they kicked down the door, I said, "What's going on?" They said they have warrants because we're selling drink there. Of course, we do. But it wasn't for them to come and kick my door down. So anyhow, they lock up the bloke who was having the party, because what I used to do, I give my tenant a night for themselves, a week for themselves. Because I just was a cool man and everything was just going right. But then now I had to stop and change my ways of life. And of course, up till this moment, I'm glad I did do those things, because you get to know people. You know the different, like when we came at the time, we have to live with the Bajan, the Jamaicans, the Trinidadians, Dominicans, and what a lot of people fail to understand, we as Jamaicans was on our own. You have to fight amongst the whites and the other Caribbean then, because we can be, Jamaican can be awkward. And not because I am awkward, I'm a Jamaican, but I've seen it. You know, you stand up for your right, as Bob Marley said, get up, stand up for your right. And that's how we were brought up. So I don't find it as hard as some people do, because I mixed in. I know how it was to mix in with different people and know when I should shout and when I should keep quiet.